If you're a man over 50 and you've been noticing that no matter how hard you try, you're waking up feeling drained, that stubborn belly fat just won't budge, and your sense of drive, well, it's not what it used to be. What if I told you it's not just the years catching up? It could be something as simple as what's on your breakfast plate. Hi, I'm Dr. Nerita, a board-certified urologist and men's health specialist. For the past 12 years, I've dedicated my practice to helping guys like you rediscover their energy, confidence, and that inner strength that makes life feel full again. And today, we're diving into something that surprises most of my patients. One so-called healthy choice you might be making every day that's actually pulling the rug out from under your testosterone. Stick with me, because in just a bit, I'll reveal exactly what it is. But first, drop a comment below. Where are you watching from today? And if this resonates, hit that like button and subscribe so we can keep this conversation going. Your health journey doesn't have to be a solo one, but here's something a lot of folks overlook. Just because a food is labeled healthy doesn't mean it's doing your hormones any favors, especially once you hit 50. In my clinic, I meet men all the time who've been following the rules, swapping out junk for fresh produce, staying active, trying to eat right, and yet their testosterone levels keep dipping, their midsections keep expanding, and that spark they once had starts to dim. It's heartbreaking because it leaves them feeling let down, like their efforts aren't paying off. Nobody warned them that certain fruits, the ones we all think of as pure and wholesome, can actually trigger a cascade in the body that boosts estrogen, spikes blood sugar, and chips away at the hormone that keeps you feeling vital and in control. Let me break this down for you friend to friend. Testosterone after 50 isn't just about bedroom performance. It's the foundation of how your body holds on to muscle instead of letting it soften, how it manages fat so it doesn't pile up around your waist, and how it keeps your mind sharp and your energy steady. When levels drop, it's like your internal engine starts misfiring. You store more fat, burn less efficiently, and even simple things like getting through the day feel like a grind. Biologically, here's what's happening. Sugar plays a sneaky role. When you eat something loaded with it, like many fruits high in fructose, your blood sugar shoots up. Your body pumps out insulin to handle it, but that insulin doesn't stop at sugar control. It signals your cells to hoard energy, basically putting the brakes on fat burning and muscle building. Over time, those constant insulin surges directly interfere with testosterone production, right in the testes. I've seen it in lab results over and over, guys, with frequent spikes show lower T levels, not because something's wrong with them, but because their body is stuck in survival storage mode. And don't get me started on the liver. It's like the unsung hero of your hormone world. This organ processes everything, including hormones. Flood it with fructose from sweet fruits, and it has to work overtime. What does it do? It turns that excess into fat and, yep, estrogen. Men produce estrogen too, but when it climbs too high, it crowds out testosterone, like a seesaw tipping the wrong way. Emotionally, this hits hard. I've had patients tell me they feel less like the man they used to be, more frustrated, even isolated, because who wants to admit they're losing their edge? Practically, it means pants that don't fit, workouts that feel pointless, and mornings where coffee isn't enough to shake off the fog. It's not fair, and it's not your fault. Then there's the vicious cycle with belly fat. It's not just extra padding. Those fat cells are alive and kicking, packed with an enzyme called aromatase that flips testosterone straight into estrogen. So, fruit spikes insulin, insulin packs on fat, fat ramps up estrogen, and estrogen tanks testosterone. You're trapped in a loop that feels impossible to break. What makes fruit trickier than, say, a cookie for men your age? It's the fructose. It bypasses the usual blood sugar alarms and heads straight to the liver, converting to fat without the immediate crash. You think you're being good with that apple or juice, but your body registers it as a sugar storm. No wonder so many guys come to me saying, "Doc, I cut out the bad stuff, eat fruit instead, why am I still struggling?" When we look at their insulin, liver enzymes, and hormone panels, the light bulb goes on. They weren't slacking, they were just getting bad intel. That moment of clarity, it's tough, but it's the start of real change. So if you've ever felt like your body's betraying you despite your best efforts, know this, you're in good company. And speaking of which, one fruit that shows up in almost every guy's routine, often first thing in the morning, is actually one of the biggest culprits for dragging down testosterone. Hang tight, because I'm about to name it and explain why it's doing more harm than you think. But here's a truth that catches most people off guard. The fruits you grab when you're aiming for healthy might be the very ones throwing your hormones off balance. Day in and day out, patients share their routines with me, proud of their fruit salads, their on-the-go snacks, and I have to gently explain how these choices are backfiring in an aging body. Let's talk specifics. Number 1, starting with one that's a staple for so many, bananas. You know the drill, easy to peel, portable, feels like a smart choice for energy, but inside your body, that banana's high sugar content, including fructose, hits your system quickly. Blood sugar rises fast, insulin follows suit, and suddenly your testes are getting the memo to dial back testosterone production. Biologically, it's like hitting pause on your hormone factory. Emotionally, guys tell me it leaves them feeling deflated, like they're fighting an uphill battle for no reason. Practically, that means more fatigue by midday, harder time shedding weight, and a sense that your get up and go has gone. One patient, a 58-year-old teacher, swapped his daily banana for something better, we'll talk about later, and within a month, he said his mornings felt brighter, no more dragging through classes. Number 2, next up, and this one sneaks up on people, grapes. They seem so innocent, right? Pop a handful while watching TV, or add them to a salad thinking you're boosting antioxidants, but grapes are fructose powerhouses, more sugar per serving than you'd guess. That direct hit to the liver, it ramps up fat conversion and estrogen production, tipping the scales against testosterone. On a cellular level, your liver's overwhelmed, prioritizing detox over hormone harmony. Emotionally, it's a blow to your dignity. Men confide in me that carrying extra weight makes them avoid mirrors or social outings. Day to day, it translates to pants feeling tighter, energy dipping in the afternoons, and that quiet worry about health creeping in. I remember a retired mechanic in his 60s who loved snacking on grapes. Once he cut back, his blood work showed estrogen dropping and T edging up. He even started tinkering in his garage again with renewed vigor. Number 3, next up is pineapple. This one's marketed as a superfood for digestion and inflammation. In tiny amounts, sure, but who stops at a slice? Juices, smoothies, big chunks in fruit bowls. That fructose overload burdens the liver, pushing more estrogen into play and sidelining testosterone. Biologically, it's disrupting the delicate balance in your endocrine system, where even small shifts add up over time. Emotionally, patients describe it as a loss of freedom, like their body isn't cooperating anymore, making simple pleasures feel guilty. Practically, it might mean bloating after meals, slower recovery from workouts, or just not feeling as sharp at work. A 55-year-old executive I treated was big on pineapple smoothies. Switching habits helped him lose 10 pounds around the middle and regain that confident stride in meetings. Number 4. And finally, the one that trips up even the most disciplined. Dried fruits like raisins, dates, or apricots. They're portable, natural energy boosters, but drying concentrates the sugars, think candy in disguise. That intense hit spikes insulin wildly, floods the liver, and accelerates aromatization in fat cells, converting T to estrogen faster than you can say snack time. Inside your body, it's like a sugar siege on your hormones. Emotionally, it's crushing guys feel like they've been duped, leading to self-doubt about their willpower. In everyday life, it shows persistent cravings, weight that sticks, and a foggy head that makes decisions harder. One of my patients, a 62-year-old golfer, ditched his trail mix with dried fruit and noticed his swings had more power. More importantly, he felt prouder on the course. It's maddening because health advice paints all fruits with the same brush, ignoring how our bodies change with age, slower metabolism, touchier insulin, busier livers. You're not failing, the guidelines are, but flip the script. Some fruits actually rally for your testosterone, calming insulin, easing liver load, and fueling hormone production. Curious which ones? Let's get into them next. But here's an eye-opener most miss. Your body hasn't forgotten its prime. It's just been getting mixed messages. Even at 50 plus, with years of ups and downs, your testosterone pathways are resilient, ready to respond to the right cues. The fruits that help? They keep things steady, no floods or crashes, signaling build and thrive instead of store and survive. First, blueberries. Unassuming little berries, but power-packed. Low sugar means minimal insulin response, plus antioxidants that boost insulin sensitivity overall. Biologically, this protects the testes from inflammation, letting them churn out more T. Emotionally, patients report a lift in mood, less irritability, more even-keeled days. Practically, add a handful to yogurt, and you've got sustained energy without the slump, helping you tackle projects or family time with ease. A 57-year-old dad I saw started with blueberries daily. His fog lifted, and he was back playing catch with his grandkids, feeling connected again. Second, pomegranate comes next, an ancient symbol of strength for good reason. It boosts nitric oxide for better blood flow to key areas, including the testes, ensuring nutrients get where they're needed for hormone synthesis. It also tamps down cortisol, that stress thief robbing tea. On a body level, it's like oiling the machinery. Emotionally, lower stress means reclaiming calm confidence, less snapping at loved ones. Day to day, it might mean deeper focus at hobbies or work, or just enjoying evenings without exhaustion. One patient, a 65-year-old veteran, added pomegranate seeds to salads. His sleep improved, and with it, his outlook. He told me it felt like turning back the clock on worry. Third, avocado, yes, it's a fruit and a game changer. Loaded with good fats that serve as building blocks for testosterone, since tea starts from cholesterol. It slows sugar absorption too, keeping insulin chill. Biologically, this stabilizes your whole endocrine rhythm. Emotionally, guys say it restores a sense of control, like their body's an ally again. Practically, slice it on toast or in salads for meals that satisfy without weighing you down, leading to better weight management and pep in your step. A 59-year-old salesman switched to avocado over sweeter options, his belly trimmed, and he closed deals with sharper energy. Fourth, kiwi rounds it out low fructose, vitamin C rich to fight oxidative damage that harms tea-producing cells. It aids serotonin for better sleep, where most tea is made. Inside, it's shielding and restoring. Emotionally, sound sleep means waking, hopeful, less burdened by fatigue. In real life, it could be the difference in enjoying walks or chores without dragging. A 61-year-old carpenter I treated loved kiwi at breakfast. His joints felt looser, but more so, his pride in his work returned. See, you don't need fancy pills. Your body thrives on these signals. Men over 50 often see quicker wins because their systems are primed for efficiency once the junk signals stop. A little tweak, big ripple. But wait, there's a catch. Even the pros miss. Even great fruits can backfire without the right approach. Timing and pairing, they make or break the hormonal message. Coming up, how to make fruit your ally, not adversary. But here's the real insight. Fruit isn't the villain, it's all in the delivery. I've seen guys nail the what, but flop on the how, keeping their hormones in limbo. Eat fruit solo, especially empty stomach. Sugar rushes in, insulin spikes, tea suffers body, thinks famine, not feast. But pair it with protein or fat like nuts, cheese, or eggs, and absorption slows, insulin stays even, letting tea hum along. Biologically, it's steady fuel over a jolt. Emotionally, it builds trust in your choices, easing that inner critic. Practically, breakfast fruit with Greek yogurt means no mid-morning crash, more productive hours. Timing's key too. Morning or post-workout, muscles soak up sugar, sans big insulin hits, sparing your liver. Biologically, it aligns with your natural rhythms. Emotionally, starting strong sets a positive tone. Day to day, it fuels runs or errands without rebound fatigue. Evenings, skip it. Insulin dips at night, so fruit disrupts sleep, cutting tea production. Biologically, fragmented rest starves hormone repair. Emotionally, poor sleep amplifies doubts. Practically, better nights mean sharper tomorrows. Use fruit to combat stress. A smart serving with protein can lower cortisol gently, freeing tea. It's chemistry at work. And remember, if you've mishandled fruit for years, no sweat bodies forgive fast with consistent cues. But here's what tugs at my heart most. The physical stuff is fixable, but the emotional weight, that's where men suffer in silence. In my office, strong guys open up about blaming themselves, thinking they've let time slip, staring at reflections that feel foreign, convinced vitality's a young man's game. That heaviness in the chest, it's real, and it's not a sign of weakness. It's what happens when testosterone ebbs, confidence wanes, motivation fades, joys dim. But friend, that's not the full story. It's a chapter, not the end. Your hormones respond to inputs, food, rest, mindset. Wrong ones pull back tea, right ones revive it. This isn't irreversible damage, it's redirection. I've witnessed 60-somethings bounce back with energy they mourned as lost, relationships reignite with renewed closeness, postures straighten as self-assurance returns. Not from magic, but from aligned signals. Your body's wired for resilience. It knows how to mend, produce tea, reclaim strength. It awaits permission. That you're here absorbing this says volumes. You value yourself, crave that alive feeling. That's your edge. Hold it close, your narrative's unfolding. Strength intact, potential untapped. But here's the empowering bit. If this sparked something, it's your inner drive stirring. Subscribe to join men rewriting aging script. Strong, clear, vibrant. You're not isolated. Thousands share this path, supporting each other. You merit restorative sleep, enduring energy, body-mind confidence, prioritizing health. It's honoring your life. And that mystery habit from the start, not fruit broadly, but the wrong ones, wrongly timed, fueling estrogen over T. Shift the signal and balance returns. You've got this small steps to big freedom. Like comment your location, subscribe for more. Here's to your vitality.